Hi guys, I've just completed watching the Money Heist, and of course most of you in this lockdown might be watching the same series as well. In fact, it's trending in the top 10 on Netflix. So today I'm going to bring you the 7 lessons which I learned from the series, and in fact maybe you might be adding a few more if you want to add. Number 1 lesson which I learned is to stay calm. Yes, being a manager as an MBA, one of the most important quality is to being calm. It can be when you are trading on stock market, completing a sales, any kind of thing, you need to stay calm. And movie talks about that. Professor is a live example of that, how to stay calm in any kind of a circumstances. Yeah, so because I've seen that the sales go away, or you are not able to make sales because you are overly enthusiastic. You don't stay calm. Let the customer come to you, then to go to him. Number 1. Number 2 pointer which bowled me over in this series was the planning part. Very beautifully planned. Every scene was planned. Every part of the heist was planned. So that's the beautiful thing you can learn. So planning obviously should be number 1 in fact, but keeping calm, because most of the MBAs lose their calm soon. So we have to learn from that. Number 3 is a case study based approach. Who takes robbers into classroom? Yeah, the professor did. Yeah, so case study approach is best way. Most of the IMs today, or most of the B schools in India today, are following a case study based approach. Same for you as well. Whenever you are stuck somewhere, look at the case which have happened earlier. Yeah, and the case study based approach will trust me, banking on the past will help you. For example, now I'm investing in the stock market, but I'm looking at the 2008 crisis. What happened, which stock made a early bounce back, so that I can invest according to that. So that is pointer number 3 from my side. Number 4 is define tasks. Now this is the most important activity, because every person's role, let it be a Rio or Berlin, was well defined. Berlin was supposed to lead, Rio was supposed to be the IT expert. So everyone have their own role defined. So same way in the management as well, you will have the role. You have to define the roles for your team and for yourself as well. So as an MBA aspirant, what you can do, you can at least chalk out your day's plan. Yeah, this task I'm going to do at that time. That can be easiest example I can give you of well-defined tasks. So define your task, so everybody has their own roles and we can follow that. Number 5 is a leadership quality of the professor. Not the leadership quality, but the leadership in general. He was not there in the heist, but he was still there, involved in every step, in every decision making. He was hands-on involved. And this is what I believe in as well. In my seating as well, I'm always hands-on. I'm always approachable to students. I try to do that, because that's the best way to learn. In the management, we have a term called MBWA, management by ordering around, MBWA. So professor could have given them the task, boss, this is your baby, do what you want to do, I'm going. But no, he was there in every step. So that's the leadership lesson which you can learn. Yeah, listen to watch all the CCTV cameras, so that you can be involved in that. Number 6 is a recruitment. Getting the right person for the right task is very, very important. And the way, right from the way professor was hiring everyone to the way everyone came up as well, was brilliant. So getting the right people is a main task. So if you ever become a leader in the near future, once you start working, you will get into a leadership role. Getting the right people on board is going to be, trust me, the main challenge. You're not going to get that. Fine. I used to think that कि यार India में इतना unemployment है, how can they say that they're not getting the right people? They're not getting the people. You can get the people, but getting the right people is the main problem. And trust me, that 10 minutes interview is not enough. Yeah, even see with me as well. There are many people who have been very, very good in the interview, but they flopped when they start working. And on the other hand, I've seen some people who are very quiet in the interview, but they actually worked really very, very hard. So recruitment is at number 6. Number 7 is for the greater good. Now, okay, in this series, what they're trying to show, they're trying to gain the public sympathy with them. Being a robber, people are preferring robbers, or people are with the robbers. So greater good means aligning the individual goals to the corporate goals. Okay, how to explain that? every individual have their own goals. When you're working, when you start working, you will feel that everyone have their own task. Someone want to become rich, someone want to become famous, someone want to become something else. Your task is to align their goals with the management goals. Show them the greater good. Yeah, it's like he is trying to be a Robin Hood 2.0 in the movie. The greater good, same thing I've seen in the movie Wonder Woman. Same thing I can see with Iron Man, that Iron Man also tried to bring everyone together for the greater good. Every time they're using the same word, we are doing it for the public. So same way, if you start thinking that, even in your job as well, if you start thinking that you're doing it for the greater good, you're not just making an Excel sheet, or you're just not making the PPT, you are going to get the business for the company. The moment you start looking at the bigger picture, the greater good, everything will fall into place. So these are my 7 lessons which I think are the most important lessons which I learned from this series. What are your lessons? Please post in the comment. I'll do check that. Let's compare the notes. All the best.